All right, what's up, guys? Definitely do not want to be making this video right now, but here I am, sitting down. The biggest red day I've ever had. 700 down, $745. The lowest I was down on the day was 840, I think. Yeah, around 840, 850 was the lowest I had down on the day. Just I took two really huge size trades and took 5% loss on each, and it was really bad. I came in today wanting to push share size, and I did it. I did push my share size to five, six, $7,000 position sizes, and I took two massive losses, and it was just I had to size down from that point and do damage control. It was a very choppy day for me. Um, a lot of the moves, there was a lot of false breakouts. Even though there was momentum, it just felt like a lot of the times I would be getting chopped up, and these dips would be dipping so damn deep. Like I would be getting shaken out before the bounce, and yeah, to right at the open, KRKR got me. Here pre-market kind of scalping, but just really not much momentum here until the open. This was insane. I took a 10-cent loss there. This was not even on big size, but still took a 10-cent loss there, from 31 all the way down to 21. And then again here it curled back up. I thought this would be it. I thought it'd break through 239, so I got super aggressive. Well, first let me go through the first big loss here, because this starts off everything. This is where it starts going downhill. AMTD, beautiful pre-market rally. I start scalping the range here, and then just starts legging up, like starts hitting a leg real hard. I pretty much snooze on this whole move here. I really should have just gotten in on this first candle. First candle on a fresh breakout, high volume, should definitely be getting in on this candle here. Looking for, now it's 950. First pullback to the 90 MA, definitely perfect. And then a break back over 10 could have been a good move. 1050. I was sleeping here. I got freaking shaken out there. Here's a 10-cent win there on 200 shares. But really left everything on the bone there. Backside, started scalping backside. I got a lot of wins under my belt. At this point, I'm up 125 on the day, and then I just take a loss here. I had my entry at 1255. I sell at, I add down at 221. I take 200 shares off at 237. I thought we'd see a bounce through back up to 13 flushes. I'm still holding my 100 shares, and this is where I went wrong. And this next candle opened up, I averaged down. I was already down now at this point 50 cents or so on 100 shares, and I averaged down to 76. I averaged down another 400 shares, so I was in $5,500 position size, and it dumps all the way down to 20, and I take a nice 50-cent loss on 400 shares, so it's a $200 loss plus that 100 shares I was holding from 1221. I sold at 1120, so it's another dollar a share on 100 shares. So that's what was that? And that's $300 right there, I think. Yeah, I don't know, $300. So that took me from green 125 to red now 188. Yeah, that's about right now. Red 188 on the day. I start scalping again. And here I get back in. This is just pure revenge trade. I'm happy this didn't go south even more. I was in $6,600, 1124, finally looking for that bounce, and we did get the bounce. Took my 5 cents, made a little bit back, but yeah, this was the bounce here off of this level. I was looking for a bounce here at first, and then it fell through, and then I did my mistake in averaging down instead of cutting it on the breakdown below 12, and it pulled back so much. And then here again, I thought we'd see a double bottom, but I got in here at well, here again, here I'm in 1,000 shares at one point, so very irresponsible. Breaking my rules, oversizing after taking. I'm pretty much doing revenge trading. This is there's going to be one day, if I don't handle this, there's going to be one day where I'm just going to I'm going to lose even more, because this is pure revenge. Like, I'm trying to make back the loss that I made, and this is very irresponsible of me breaking my rules, getting in here. 500 shares at 81, another 660 shares at 75, taking it off around break even. And then here I'm thinking, I'd see a double bottom at 11, and then maybe a move back up to 1230. So I get in at 1160, and it just sells off, and then I get back in. I sell at 11, get back in at 95, and then it gets shaken out at 75. So this was just me trading emotionally and breaking my rules there. And even though I didn't lose much more from this, it could have potentially been very dangerous. So something I need to get under control moving forward. And then that just spiraled into, at this point, I was like, I'm not trading until the open. And I tried trading this here at the open. I get a quick 30 cents, then a quick dip scalp down here at 11, or no, quick dip at 1180, flipping it at 1195 before the flush. So made, roughly $50 back. I should have called it there. The writing was on the wall, and but I had to take this trade. KRKR at the open, jumped right over here, took a quick 10-cent loss, and it curls back up. I'm thinking we're gonna break 240 now. Shorts are trapped. That's what I'm thinking, and it just it dumps, and I take a 14-cent loss on 3,600 shares, and that's an $8,350 position, taking about a 6% loss from 232 to 219. And even though that's not like a terrible loss, like it's only 5%, 5 or 6%. It's just it was on such a big size that it turned out to be a $560 loser in one trade, and that's the biggest loss I've ever had in my career so far. But that's just what happens when you're starting to size up. You have to get used to taking bigger losses. Today maybe, yeah, it did go a little bit farther than it should have, but I definitely have broken the ice of taking a big loss. So any other loss less than 800 or $750 is going to be, I'm going to be used to it. I mean, I've broken the ice. It's like, I've come to, accept that level of loss, and that's the type of loss that I'm going to need to be able to accept in order for me to get to a level of trading to where I'm going to be having $800, $1,000 green days, which is ultimately my goal. If I'm gonna want to be able to trade big size like that, I'm gonna have to be able to weather those losses. And today, obviously, I did let my losers go a little bit longer than they should have, so that my risk reward was completely destroyed here. My average winner was $6. My average loser was $22. So I let my losers go a little bit too long, and that's just something I'm gonna have to adjust, and as I'm sizing up. But that's just the experience that I've had, is like whenever I'm sizing up, I tend to be a little bit more attached to those trades than I usually am, because I feel like there's so much more on the line, and that's just like has to go. That just leads into like understanding your emotions and understanding what it's like to take losses. And it's definitely a big hurdle. It's a big challenge trying to grow as a trader. And days like this is not fun. It's really not fun. I definitely definitely am more equipped now than I have been in the past to handle the emotions of losing money. Definitely got better. Definitely able to handle losses emotionally a little bit better. Not really raging as much as I was earlier in my career, which is good. But I do need to keep it under control and not fall into that revenge mode, because this could have been potentially very, very dangerous. I could have given back months of profit if any of these trades went wrong here with $10,000, $11,000 share size. And yeah, I mean, at the first, when you take a big loss, bigger than you normally have ever had. My biggest loss before was $386. So this is about double my biggest loss. And yeah, it's a little bit of a shock to the system. When I first saw my P&L, I was a little bit in shock. And you're kind of just sitting in like an emotional cocktail of just stirring emotions, and it's really hard to see clearly. And my mistake was keep trading, but and revenging, and which made it even worse. But yeah, when you're in that state of just that emotional cocktail and not really understanding what's going on, you're just really in shock. Um, you have to be able to control yourself. You really do. You have to be able to follow. That's when your rules come in handy. Uh, I had 458 orders completely. This is too much, way too much. Um, and this was really only from two trades. It was only from two trades. So if I could erase those two trades, I'd actually be green by maybe $200. But obviously, I can't really think like that. But yeah, when you're taking a big loss like that, and you're trying to size up, and you take a bigger loss than you're normally used to, you definitely have to you have to like control yourself and follow your rules in that moment, because that's why you have those rules. That's not a time to be breaking your rules. Um, and then you just have to learn to accept it. Like, you have to learn to sit with the emotion. You can't fight it. You can't resist it anymore, because it's just going to make it worse, and it's going to affect you going into the next trading day. So that's really what I did today. I mean, I took a lot of time just trying to just manage my emotions off the screen. I did come back and I started to chip it down a little bit, but I only got maybe $100 back. My lowest was 850. Now I'm down, 745. But it just seems there's a lot going on, because there's a whole bunch moving. We had a lot of stocks over 100, 200% today, and I'm here sitting double the biggest of a red day I've ever had. And it definitely does throw a wrench in your confidence, and it's just hard not to let it get to you, especially when you see a lot of other people being massively green today and having like their biggest green day ever, and they're doing great, they're dialed in, and I'm sitting here thinking like I'm doing something wrong, and like I've I messed up. I in a sense I did mess up, but like I feel like maybe all my skills have gone away. But I think it's just at the end of the day, um, it just it just came down to those two trades, and if it didn't come down to those two trades, it would be green. So I don't think it's an issue with my strategy. It's just an issue with um, the timing of the sizing. I just took my big size on two really, really bad setups, and I got shaken out. I couldn't manage my risk. I got in too much, too big, and I got in shock when it started going against me, and I had to cut it. You know, but so I guess from here, moving forward, um, We also had what APDN was beautiful. Didn't really make much on that. You know, I sized down after I took those losses because I just couldn't get that any worse. Like I couldn't get a bigger loss. Um, so I guess moving forward is going to be I'm going to have to size back down and wait until I feel like the wind is against my back again. And then when that happens, I'm going to press on the gas again and give it another go. But for right now, I need to conserve the profit that I've made last month. I gave a big chunk back and I can't afford to give too much more back. I'm in a biggest drawdown I've been in a long time. My biggest drawdown was back in May 2021, so another big drawdown. But you know, I will get through it. You know, I've had days, many days of having over $300, $400, and even $500 profit day, and so it's only going to take 2 of those days to make us money back. So that's the bright side. That's the good side. To look at it, and that's how I'm going to look at it. There's no really reason to let this affect me any longer. I just got to move forward with it. It looks really ugly on my chart. It really looks really ugly on my statistics, but it's something I'm going to have to live with. And it's always been, whenever I take a loss, whenever I'm in a drawdown and I make it back, I'm always a better trader. I'm always a stronger trader. My P&L goes up even more parabolic and even stronger. So I know this is good, like in the long run, and it's going to help me manage my risk more and better from this bigger share size. It's going to condition me emotionally to be taking these types of losses, because this is what I'm going to need to go through if I'm going to want to have over 1K days. So, I always got to think of it on the bright side, and, really at the end of the day, I can make that back. And, it's only going to take $200-$300 days or $200-$350 days to make that back. And I can do that. I've done it before. So, it does throw a wrench in my confidence a little bit, but tomorrow is just going to be about going back to what I did last month, sticking back to that size. I'm not going to stick with this size right now, because I think that would be very irresponsible of me, because if I have another $500 or $700 red day, that could really be like deadly. I could dig myself a big hole, and that's just not what I want. So what I'm going to do is just size down back to what I was doing, and then when I start feeling the wind on my back again, then I'm going to try it again. I'm going to step up the plate again and size up. That's the only thing I can do. But if I'm still on this red streak, in this red state of mind, I can't press it any longer, because it can't get any worse here. So that's it. I know a lot of other people, some people struggled today, some people did really well. The cards just did not work out in my favor today. The setups that I took and sized into didn't work out, and it got to the point where I was beyond max loss and I had to size down. Even though I did make some off back, I'm still down $745. So biggest ever red trade was $565, right? Let's see. $515, the biggest ever red trade. That was on KRKR. That sits the leaderboards. And biggest ever red day was today, $745. So, I know a year from now, 6 months from now, I'm going to look back on this day. I'm going to be like, wow, like, I'm going to look at this recap and be like, wow, you were down. You were whining about a $700 red day. Like, I'm going to be so far ahead 6 months, a year from now, that $700 loss is going to be nothing. I'm going to be able to make that back in a couple trades, and that's how I have to think. Because that's what I was saying about my losses back last year. I'd have a losing day of like $100, a $100 losing day way back here. And I'd be whining about like a $97 red day or like $122 red day. I was like, thinking that's the biggest red day ever. I'm ever going to come back. And, now I'm looking at it like $122. I can make that in one trade. And then this day here, back in May, I had a $386 red day. That's the biggest red day I've had to date on that day. And I remember being in complete shock, affecting me emotionally, just similar, the exact same way it's affecting me today. And, I can look back and see, $386. I can make that in a day. Like, that's nothing. I've made more than that in a day. I've made 574 in a day. So, it's completely manageable. That's not a big loss anymore. But in the moment, it just felt so big. And so that's how I think I'm going to view it. 6 months down, 3 months, maybe 6 months down the road, I'm going to view this loss as like something that I can make back in one day. And I hope it's going to be like that. And I have a feeling it's going to be like that. But in the moment, man, it sucks. It sucks so much. It's like, it hurts. It hurts. But, I'm just going to lick my wounds and try my best to get some rest and come back tomorrow. I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to trade again. But definitely going to be better risk management this time. We did get a lot of momentum, a lot of moves, AEMD, MTC, AMTD, APDN, ILAG, a lot of beautiful moves all day, OST, so many moves. So hopefully I'm better equipped tomorrow. So that's the plan. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, peace.